The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests
What's going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. Today's date is Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. This is episode number 285. We are live as always on YouTube. So if you're out there in the live chat, make sure you say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you have any questions or comments throughout this podcast and you want to ask our guests and all that, make sure you tag me and we'll try to get those in there and all of that. If you want to text into the show, yes, you can text into the show. Utilize our Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at Aegis Gun Care. That phone number is 530-364-4678. It is scrolling down below. And make sure you go check out aegisguncare.com. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness, and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you any medical advice, but I can probably be a pretty good ear, maybe talk you through some stuff and at least listen to what you have to say. If you are looking for someone that can get you some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255. The Veteran Crisis Hotline. We are spotlighting, as always, United States Marine Corps. So if you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we're a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network and the Rapid Fire Radio Network. Go check out all your favorite Pro Gun, Pro 2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net and rapidfireradio.us. Let me get this off of my ugly mug and bring in our guest for the night. We are happy to have Mark with Bollé Safety. Mark, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well today. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Got a couple good-looking kids back there on the portrait back there, and really cool. Now, you're in the San Diego area, so you probably have some pretty cool weather right now. Awesome, huh?
Today is a sunny day, but we've had more rain than you can ever imagine. But we needed it. California's been in a big drought, so we're thankful.
Yeah, we've had more rain than I've seen in a long time. This one's been a wet winter everywhere. I remember being out at Pendleton, and I was there in the mid to late 90s, and that was when they had like a 2-year drought that, like, I mean, it was bad. Like, they were saying, like, if you smoke, like, you can't even throw your cigarette butt on the ground because it was likely to start a fire. And so I remember those times. I remember you had the El Nino or El Nina, I'm not sure which year it was, came through one winter, and that was like a godsend. They were like, holy cow, we got an inch of rain. An inch of rain over there was a lot of rain.
Well, as you know, since you've been out at Pendleton, we get about 6 to 7 inches out here in San Diego. We've gotten over 15 inches so far.
Oh, wow. You've got your year's worth in a couple months, huh?
Yes, it's been insane. Thankful. We needed the water. It was getting crazy.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk Bollé Safety. You guys have a lot of awesome products out there. We've already got some questions out there from some people. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions or comments about Bollé or anything, as long as it's relevant to the conversation, go ahead and say them out there. We'll try to bring those up when the time comes. We want to say hello to everybody out there that's watching in replay or listening in podcast form. The conversation doesn't have to stop right now. Utilize the comment section. If you have any questions for myself or for Mark or anyone, go ahead and use the comment section, and we will make sure that if I can't answer it, if it's a question for Mark, I can make sure that I'll email Mark and all everyone and get an answer for you guys. So, but you guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday over on our YouTube community tab, we have the Ghost Tactical Polls. They're a lot of fun. We ask some fun questions and all that. So let's go through these. Mark, I'm going to include you in these poll questions. So the first one was put out yesterday. It's got 1.6 thousand votes. We're talking Mexican food restaurants now. Mexican food restaurants. Of these, which is your favorite? Enchiladas, fajitas, tacos, or tamales? Being in San Diego, you got some great Mexican food down there.
We do. My first vote is a taco and a beer all day long.
Yeah. Now, are you a street taco guy? Because I have grown to love the street taco scene.
Put any taco in front of my face, I don't care what it is, and I'll be one of the happiest guys on the planet. No,
I hear you.
I'm ready to go.
Now, you've been to Okinawa. We were talking, and all that. So I was stationed at Camp Hansen, and Camp Hansen in Kenville is very famous for taco rice. Did you ever have any taco rice when you were over in Okinawa?
I don't recall taco rice. No, I don't.
It's heaven. It's heaven on earth. It's basically all the inner makings of a taco, except with instead of a shell, they put it on the steamed sticky rice, and it is to die for.
Yeah, I'm in.
My wife makes it, all the time. Like she knows it for my birthday. Like, okay, it's taco rice night. So that's, it's pretty good. Rich White out there, the 1% says, we had pork tacos for dinner. There you go. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of these. But right now, 1.6 thousand votes, 54% agree with Mark when they say tacos, 20% say enchiladas, 19% say fajitas, and 8% say tamales. Now, I'm a big tamale fan, but here's the thing with tamales. You can mess a tamale up really, they can get a little bit too dry. You can mess a tamale up really quick, but if you can have someone that cooks them really well, a good tamale is pretty hard to beat.
You're spot on. A good tamale is also heaven.
Absolutely.
Mexican food is wonderful, but tamales are right up there too. I would not have put them as the caboose. I would not have put them last.
I honestly, I figured maybe like an enchilada. I mean, just because I think most people think tacos, fajitas, and all of that. Not because enchiladas are any worse, but I think that maybe people just don't have enchiladas maybe as much. But I was wrong, apparently. Yeah. Go find yourself a good tamale, folks. It's worth it.
No question.
Our next question was Saturday, and we're talking historic World War II vehicles now, okay? American World War II vehicles. Which of these would you like to have? An old Jeep or Dodge Power Wagon? Which one would you go with if you could pick one of those four?
So you broke up, and I got the last one, the French Power Wagon, but I didn't hear the first three. You're frozen on my side. Frozen.
So which one would you go with?
I'm sorry, you froze. So I didn't hear him. You froze for a second.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
I'm sorry. Okay, so World War II military vehicles. If you could pick one to have, an old ambulance, an old Harley motorcycle, the Willys Jeep, or the Dodge Power Wagon?
I think I'd take the Jeep.
Yeah, the old Willys Jeep. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd take the Jeep. Especially, I moved from the coast out to the country now, so a Jeep would be more my style out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them. But 40% say they want the Harley.
Yeah, I can imagine.
31% say the Jeep, 24% say the Power Wagon, and 6% say the ambulance. So like I said, they're all cool. I've seen something recently. A guy restored an old Power Wagon and it was awesome. It was amazing. But I've seen them restore ambulances too that were pretty cool. But yeah, the Jeeps are kind of iconic,
Yeah. Very much.
So let's see here. Our last one's a gun question. Of these, if you could only have one of these, which one would you rather have? A Glock 19, an HK VP9, a SIG P320, CZ75, or an FN 509?
Gosh, I live in California.
I know, it's like picking between your kids, right?
Yeah. I'd take the Glock.
Yeah, that's that. It's a safe one. Now, people hate on Glock all the time, but let's just say this. I gave everyone a fair chance. Over 2,000 votes, 46% say Glock. The SIG P320 comes in at second place with 18%. the CZ75 at 15%, the VP9 at 12%, and the FN at 9%. So I gave all of the Glock haters a chance to vote against Glock, and Glock still whooped them. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Now, Rich White, on as far as the vehicle, says, I've always liked those old Harleys. Would probably be painful to ride these days. Yeah, I would imagine it'd be painful to ride a 1942 Harley with suspension and seats and all that. Probably so, but you know, it is what it is. I forgot today is, by the way, it is Taco Tuesday. I keep forgetting it is Taco Tuesday. So there you go. You go. So we're gonna talk Bollé, and I don't know what I want to do real quick is I want to put out the website out there in the stream for you guys to go check out. And later on, when we start talking about the products, I'll be screen sharing so everyone can kind of see the products out there and all of that. Real quick before we dive into all of that Bollé stuff, you've got a really interesting story on how you came to Bollé and all of this, and we were talking pre-show. If you don't mind taking a few minutes, I think it's a rather interesting road to get where you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this industry, call it an industry, working with the military or selling to the military for 40 years. I never served, but I've made a lot of friends along the way, and it was kind of roundabout. I was playing tennis collegiately. I had a full ride, did well. And when I got out, I knew that tennis wasn't going to make my living, but I did get a job with Schwinn Bikes. And I was into triathlons early on in the early days of triathlons, but I got a job with Schwinn Bikes to take the Wheaties Schwinn racing team around Europe to the military bases, and the world champion BMX bike ride. This was the very early 80s.
I was actually doing BMX as like an 8 to 10-year-old back in the day. So I remember those days when BMX was huge.
It was massive. And my job was to build 300 BMX bikes, set up a course in front of the military exchanges, rope it all off, set up speakers, put out a grill, barbecue up some dogs, and be sure at the end of Sunday evening, all 300 bikes were sold. And everybody wanted to be like the world champion BMX bike rider. And so we did that. Heidelberg, Mannheim, Frankfurt, Stuttgart, Fürth, every base in Germany, Italy, Japan, wow, Korea, Okinawa, Philippines, Guam. Just spent probably a year taking this kid around, and then got involved in triathlons. Schwinn gave me a bike. I lived close to Del Mar. I was running the railroad tracks in Del Mar. Scott Tinley, one of the godfathers of triathlon, yep, is running. I become friends with him. He's wearing a pair of Oakleys. And I asked him what it was all about. He said, the new company. And I said, well, I'm selling Schwinn bikes to the military in Europe and out in the Far East. I wonder if I could get a job with Oakley selling their product. And long story short,
wow,
I went up to Interbike in Long Beach, and the whole world was walking through these double doors. I was supposed to meet with Schwinn. I went through these other double doors. Nobody was standing at those doors, and lo and behold, Oakley was standing right in front of me, displaying on a card table in a little 10 by 10 booth.
Wow, Oakley! Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Mike Parnell was the number 2 guy. Jim Gennard was the mad scientist and the founder. Mike Parnell was the number 2 guy. There was nobody in the booth. They were showing on a card table. I told him what I was doing with Schwinn. And he said, hey, I don't know, because all we're interested in right now is surf, skate, and snow. And I said, well, let's think about the military. He put me on as an outside sales rep. And over a 26-year period, I was the founder of their military combat eyewear, boots, gloves, and goggles, and created their website that many in the military still use today, and probably you may have used as well.
I still to this day run Oakley gloves. To this day, still using. Yeah.
So that was an old BMX motocross glove that we converted into a military glove. So through that journey, it led me to a really successful career, traveling, as I say, all around the world. Nobody shooting at me. Just saved a lot of eyes during the Gulf Wars and Iraq and Afghanistan. Saved just a countless number of eyes through those wars, and then left Oakley and started another company called GovX, and was the founder of GovX and CEO.
You're the founder of GovX.
Yeah. Co-founder and CEO.
Holy cow! I still use GovX.
Oh, you do? Okay, good to hear. Yeah.
Wow. I hadn't. That's crazy. GovX, guys. If you have it, go check out GovX. But I had no. That's crazy. Yeah, GovX is huge.
Well,
At least in my life.
Well, the idea was, because I built U.S. standard issue. The idea was, let's work with the brands that want to honor and take care of those that are out there laying it all out on the line.
Yep.
So if you were back in my day, I created U.S. standard issue. Oakley wanted to get their product directly to the guys that were training or out there, fighting, and we developed the site. So when I left when I left Oakley, I said, I'm going to build a company that's going to take care of those that are protecting and serving by bringing some of the very best brands onto the site and offering those that are protecting and serving a discount that nobody else can see. Amazon can't even see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was a great run for 5 years, and then left after 5 years. GovX is still crushing it, but I wanted to do something different, so I joined a Navy SEAL, and we developed camouflage face paint for the military.
Yep.
And that led me to.
Man, you've got a story that you should write a book, bro. Yeah. Like seriously, that's a book right there.
I got to tell you, it's been one of the coolest careers you could ever imagine, because I met nothing but great men and women that are out there laying it all out on the line, and just super people all over the world. It's been a real good fun ride.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to Bollé, I'm with TJ. I start playing now. Understand, I grew up in Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. So when I say beach volleyball, we played beach volleyball in sand pits, not actually on the beaches. Now, I did get the chance to go play a lot of beach volleyball up in like Huntington Beach and all that when I was stationed out at Pendleton. But I grew up playing beach volleyball in Dallas. And TJ says I ran Bollé when I was playing volleyball in the 80s and 90s. I ran Bollé. It had St. John Smith. These back in the days of St. John Smith, Randy Stokely, all these guys. And it's like Bollé was like, if you were playing volleyball and you weren't wearing Bollé, you were not cool, So we all ran Bollé back in the day.
Sure. Yeah. I think what's important for people to understand about Bollé, and it's interesting to bring BSSI, Bollé Safety Standard issue here to the U.S. and to the military, because Bollé, in fact, is a company that was born in the late 1800s. I mean, it was a family-owned company. Back up, two brothers started it, but it's a company that started in the late 1800s. Safety division was started in 1950. It's so well known for those that were skiing back in the 80s and in the 90s. And
the goggles, everyone had Bollé goggles. I grew up skiing in absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Bollé has been around for a long time, and I didn't realize it was over 100 years old. First of all, that's pretty crazy.
Well, that's what we really needed to do, and I speak to Bollé about it all the time, is tell the heritage, the history of the brand. And there were not just some suits that want to be a Me Too and provide some eye protection to military or law enforcement. I mean, we've been doing it for 75 years on the safety side, and well over 100 years since the founding of the company.
Yeah, and you talk about safety, and this is one of the topics before we go into your Bollé products. I think it's important to tell, because a lot of people, most of the people that are probably live here are gun people. They've been in the gun community for a long time, so they understand. But there's been a large influx of new gun owners since the pandemic, and a lot of people are still learning about different things, and whether it's competitive shooting or just going to the range or whatever. I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't understand the difference between shooting / safety glasses and then just regular eye protection or sunglasses you can get it at Walmart or wherever. If you can maybe explain, because I know that there's an important way that the lenses are made, the frames, where if something does happen, they don't shatter in your eye, they break in specific ways, and those are very important. If you can just take a few minutes before we start talking about the products, about the difference between safety / shooting eye protection versus just regular eyeglasses.
Yeah, there's three main components of eyewear. There's glass, there's CR39, and there's polycarbonate. 25 years with Oakley, it's always polycarbonate. Bollé is polycarbonate lens. So certainly,
I got my Bollés here.
Yep, the Sentinel you have right there. That's a great
Sentinel.
glass.
Yep. Yeah.
So certainly you're not going to shoot in a glass lens. You're not going to want to shoot in a CR39 lens, because when that shatters, it's like shards of glass.
Yeah.
You want to shoot in a polycarbonate lens that ideally is at a minimum ANSI rated, ANSI Z87.1, which is both optical clarity and impact resistance. And we are, with BSSI, Bollé Safety Standard Issue, we are at a minimum, all of our best BSSI is ANSI Z87.1, and actually a majority of them step up to mil-spec standards. So an even higher level of protection. So
you guys have to, if you're going to be able to do anything with the military, that's a whole nother level of quality and all of that you have to meet as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you want to certainly understand how the lens is curved, how the lens is shaped, so you have optical clarity when you're looking through the lens as well, because you obviously want to have eyes on target. And that's, again, another attribute to what we've built here with our standard issue line.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating when you bring in, not just for the shooting sports and all that, but you talk about the whole other element with military. So when you guys are designing your eye protection, do you have a specific, whether it's competitive shooting or just sports shooting in general, or military, or are you designing frames and eye protection that could be used for both, or how do y'all go about that at Bollé?
Yeah, I mean, what you're utilizing for a SWAT team can be utilized for the military. So when we think about what we're going to build, we think definitely about the military, and we think very strongly also about law enforcement. But then we also think about those that just like to go out there and recreationally shoot, or go out and hunt as well. And in this as our mindset, we want to build the product in our core 3-lens tints: clear for night operations, clearing buildings, things of that nature; a smoke lens for a bright sunny day; and then a lens that we have, which is called copper, which is spectacular for shooting indoors and outside, and has an added benefit of protection against blue light. So you could be, on your desktop or your laptop all day long, or on an iPad, whatever it might be, and you get the protection against the blue light with our copper lens as well. So those are our 3 key lens tints that we run in our safety line.
I don't know. Internet, you gotta love it. You hear?
Oh, I'm good. I can hear you. You broke up for a second. Oh, you're frozen. Darn.
Oh,
You're frozen. Oh, okay. You're moving now. You're good.
okay. I don't know. StreamYard last week ended our podcast right in the middle of the conversation. So I have no idea if it's StreamYard, if it's the computer. I don't know. But yeah. Rich White out there says anyone that uses a computer for any amount of time uses blue light. That's something that probably wasn't even in the thought process 10 years ago,
No, it was not. It was not. But it's scientifically proved, that it does affect your sleep patterns, the blue light transmission. But our copper lens not only solves that, but if you ever shoot in a copper lens, indoors or outside, wow, this is pretty cool. It helps increase contrast and all of that too. So,
well, we're gonna go dive into some of the products, but before we do, we've got a couple questions already about your products. Kind of a nice transition. In general, G23 wants to know, kind of in general, warranty on some of your safety stuff, and not necessarily eye protection, but just in general warranty information.
So we have a 1-year warranty, but quite honestly, I don't pay any attention to it. I am old school. If you have a problem, you reach out to our customer service, who will reach out to me or reach out to anyone on my team, and I'm just going to flat out take care of you, no questions asked. I mean,
that's good stuff. There's a reason why y'all have been around for 100 years. I mean, you don't last that long if you've got crappy customer service.
I'm not going to say, oh my God, where is your sales receipt or this or that. Call me, send me an email, send me a text, put up a smoke signal. I don't care. I'm going to take care of you. That's the bottom line to it. It's just going to happen. And the reason I do that is because I know, again, from 40 years of traveling the world, what the men and women are doing that are taking care of me. So I can sit here at a nice desk, speak to you on a sunny day in Southern California. My
Yeah.
kids are safe. They just live 5 miles up the road, not because
Yeah.
of anything I did, but it's for what the veterans have done and what our active duty is doing. And, our retirees, it's just, it's my mindset.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of people appreciate that. We got a lot of veterans out there right now that follow my channel for obvious reasons and all that. So I was holding up my Sentinels,
Mm-hmm.
and G23 also says, are the nose pieces adjustable? Maybe not just on these, but in general on a lot of your stuff. Obviously, different people have different nose styles and angles and all of that.
Yes.
When it comes to nose pieces, is that something that there's different options or anything?
Yes, on the Sentinel, which you showed, that's one of our top selling glasses, and there's another one that's called the Tryon, Tryon. Those both
We'll pull those up here in a second for sure.
Yeah.
I'll share the screen and the website and all that.
They have adjustable nose pieces, which are great because it allows you to set the lens closer or further away from your face.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, adjustable nose pieces on many of our standard issue line are incorporated.
Now our buddy G Web's out there, good websites. He was looking at the website earlier and saw the goggles, which are pretty cool, the Pilot Neos. But he wants to know, like, for people that have to wear like prescription glasses, will those fit over normal glasses, or what's the deal with those?
Again, it all depends on your glasses. We have
Right.
some that are very specific to it over the glasses, but again, it depends on how your prescription glasses are set up.
Yeah. Now, Tim, speaking of prescription, Tim wants to know, are prescription lenses available through Bollé?
They are available through Bollé.
Awesome.
They're not yet available through Bollé Safety Standard Issue, but we can set anybody up to take care of them on prescription.
Oh, awesome.
It's actually a really large division for Bollé.
I would imagine it is because especially there's a lot of people that maybe because we've been looking at our phones or computers for so long, people that had great eyesight forever now maybe they don't anymore. I used to have 20/10 vision. Now, I'm not complaining. I still have 20/20, but I had 20/10 until about a year ago, and then I had problems start reading stuff up close, and I had to go get some readers and all that. But there's a lot of people that I know in the last few years, maybe it's because of all of the gadgets we have, that their eyesight is going back to where they're having to get prescriptions now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
So,
I mean, again, we talk about eyesight and protecting your eyesight. I mean, that's the foundation piece of the Bollé Safety Standard issue, because we make a polycarbonate lens. We make lenses with different lens shapes for more coverage. But I'll say to anyone that's out there, where we separate ourselves from all the competition that's out there, and this is something that we are going to have a bigger push in telling this story, is our platinum coating. So platinum is our anti-fog, anti-scratch coating, and it's not something that's sprayed on. It's actually baked into the lens, both sides. You'll lose the glasses or destroy them completely before you ever wear the platinum out. And the key behind the platinum, sure, it's polycarbonate. So if you just drop them on a driveway or something like that, you're going to get little nicks and so forth. Nothing in polycarbonate is scratch proof. You'll get little nicks, but you want to have a lens that if something goes really south and something comes flying back into your face, with the polycarbonate lens and our ANSI rating, you're going to be protected. But the key behind platinum, you can't hit what you can't shoot. Platinum will not fog. I don't care if you're going for a run or you're shooting out at a range in Houston, outside in a range in Houston in August, they just flat out will not fog. And that's
a cool thing because, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, when I'm at trade shows, we have this machine that actually blows up warm steam air, and we have our standard issue glasses on there, and they're not fogging. They just won't fog. And some of our competitors, some other folks come around, they're wearing our competitor glasses. They say, well, let me see, and they put theirs on there and they fog immediately. This is a true separation point for what we've built with our standard issue line. It really is a separating technology. It's amazing.
There's some really cool stuff that you guys have going on, and you guys have been in the forefront of pushing technology in eyewear, not just talking about the anti-scratch, not talking about the anti-fog, but also stuff like UV protection. You know, who would have thunk 20 years ago that UV protection would be important in eyewear, you know? But I know you guys are at the forefront of pushing UV protection on some of your models. It's just, who would have thunk 20 years ago that UV would be something you're looking at in eyewear, you know?
Because, you know, as we all age, I mean, macular degeneration becomes a factor, cataracts become factors. Hey, I grew up down by the beach, and I wore sunglasses because I thought it was, you know, kind of a cool thing to do back then.
Sure. Yeah.
But I never thought about really what they were doing to save my eyes or help my eyes. But it's certainly much more forefront in my mind now to be wearing sunglasses when I'm out for a run or doing anything.
Yeah. So we're going to pull up the website here. So we're going to go through some of the products on the, I'm going to put this out here in the chat again, and the link out there, Bollé Safety. Follow along with this, but I will have it here on the screen as well. Yeah, no, I've been wearing mine, and TJ says he's been wearing his Sentinel since shot. He lives down in Florida, and he works outside every day, so he's been wearing those outside and loves them. I love mine. Yeah. I'll say this: you guys have a lot of great products, but I think what is amazing, what people are getting ready to see here, they're on the live show watching this website, are the prices. I think people are going to be incredibly surprised at the quality you're going to get for the prices you're getting ready to see, because you're talking about glasses that some people are selling for $200-$300, and you guys are giving the same quality, even better maybe, for a fraction of the price. So we're going to talk about that as well.
Yeah, that was a key piece of the vision when I came over to Bollé and to build the team. I said, listen, the field is very crowded where I used to be with Oakley. I mean, you have some great brands there. You have Smith up there. You have Gators. You have a lot of really good brands that are up there. And I said,
yep,
what we need to do is we need to set Oakley as our benchmark. Because I'd been there 26 years. I said, I want to make sure that everything we do is ANSI rated or mil-spec rated. I want our packaging to be as cool as Oakley. I want our micro bag to be as cool as Oakley. I want to set this up there.
Your
so
packaging, by the way, is phenomenal. Everything, it's right there. Anything that you need is right there.
And that's exactly what our team did. And I said, but we are going to win in two key areas. We're going to win, actually three: the heritage of our company, which is over 100 years old. Two very important areas: platinum coating, this anti-fog, and this gentleman that just said he has a Sentinels down in Florida. If he's still on and he can hear, I guarantee you his glasses down there in Florida with the platinum coating have not fogged. So fogging separates us and our pricing. And truly our pricing, we are anywhere from 1/8 to 1/10 the cost of our key competitors that are out there. And that glass that you hold up, the Sentinel, and the other one, the Tryon, those are probably our two.
I'm going to push the Sentinel right here on the website so people can kind of get an idea while you're talking about that.
That's
what we're talking about.
That's the Sentinel with the copper lens that I spoke of earlier. And actually, we had a Jade Struck was one of our ambassadors for 2 years.
I know Jade very well. Yeah, she's a good friend. Yeah,
she's awesome. She's a special lady. And then Rudy Reyes was.
I know Rudy. Rudy's an old recon guy. Yeah,
exactly.
I just saw him back in January at the Marine Party. So yeah, they were there. It was really good to see him. I hadn't seen him in since probably 2020 shot before the pandemic.
I was introduced to Rudy, who introduced me to Jade, by Brian Von Cubulus, who was MARSOC, and he got out after 20 years, moved to Idaho, and I was listening to Brian interview Rudy on a podcast, and Rudy has so much energy. After it was over,
bro, let me tell you, it's not fake either. It's real. Like, it's legit. It's like, bro, are you like, what's wrong with you? You know?
We had a wonderful 2-year relationship with them. This was Jay's that we made after her. It has her little insignia on it. But that one, and we have it without not in the struck, but with a gray lens as well. But this one is and the gray lens. This one are gravitated to quite a bit because, again, having spent so much time with that other company. They made a glass called the flak jacket and the half jacket, which is very well known amongst the military. And this is somewhat designed like a flak jacket or half jacket, so it's really kind of fun to be at a trade show and watch people gravitate to those. And they try them on, and we tell the story and the technology of platinum, and then we tell them the price, and they go, "Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding! How do you do this?"
$59 for those. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It's
unbelievable.
And we have actually, and that's actually that's the retail price. If you punch in the military and law enforcement code BSSI-50, you get 50% off that. So you're talking about $30.
BSSI-15.
50.
Put that out in the chat.
Yeah. BSSI-50.
50?
Yes.
Oh, I think you said 15. You said 50.
Oh, 50.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to put that code out there. If you guys are interested at checkout, type in BSSI-50 and get a discount out there. But yeah, that's these are the ones that I have. I wore them all day at range day this year at SHOT Show, and phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. And especially the weather was so crappy that day. But it was gray and rainy all day, but it's still, everything was just they're great glasses. And I hadn't seen Bollé in a long time. And I was talking to the guys there, and I was like, man, I didn't realize that y'all were, getting into the shooting glasses. I had never seen them at SHOT before. Maybe I just wasn't looking. And it was really good to see them there, because there's a lot of people interested in Bollé there for sure.
We have
so we've got the Sentinel, which let's go back to some of the let's go look the ballistic glass.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You there?
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
You there? I hear you now.
By the way, the code.
Yeah, we just got the internet, and I think it's weird on me.
Oh, okay. But
What's
by the way,
now?
the code that I gave you for the discount is actually Q150 now. Q150.
Oh, okay. So BSSI-Q150. Is that correct?
Just simply Q150.
Q150.
Q, the number 150.
So that right there.
That's it. Perfect. That's
okay.
It. That's the code.
Q150 on checkout. Use Q150 at checkout to get your discount. We just got brand new internet here last week, so it might be kind of still being weird, but sorry about that. So we talked the Sentinel. Let's talk. We're talking, let's say, some ballistic eyewear and all that, because I think that's what a lot of people hear. Besides the Sentinel, what are some of the products that you guys are really pushing right now?
The Tryon, Tryon. Look under. Go to in tactical and go to first responder glasses.
Oh, okay. There we go. Oh.
Let's see.
Ooh, those are sexy. All right,
those are
bring these up.
Here it
Holy cow, $32.
Right, and when you put that code in Q150, they're going to cost you $16. $16. And now, there is a shipping charge, so it's good if you get a few your teammates together and place your order. but still, I'm telling you, back in the day, if I put that other company's logo on this, it would have been $175.
Oh, easily.
What we've done with this, and this is essentially what I did with the other company, is I said, listen, we need to make these tackles. So I want the frames to be matte black. I want the logos to be subdued on the stem. And then again, we go with the clear, the copper, and the smoke key lenses. But this also has the adjustable nose piece here. It universally looks great on men and women. This is that and the Sentinel. This and the Sentinel are my two favorite. But if you want something something with solid coverage, and when you're out on the range, take a look at the Silex Plus.
Okay, let's go back there real quick.
First responders as well.
This one right here, the Silex Plus BSSI?
Yes. Spectacular.
Okay.
You're a bigger guy. You want just
$19.50. Holy cow. That's
going to cost you about $10. I got to tell you.
Wow.
Why are we able to do this? Well, because these are our factories. We've been around for over 100 years. This is not some.
That helps.
This is, let me see if I have here. Give you an idea of what we've done. And when I talked about everything that I wanted to do was to reach that bar of the other company that I worked with, but even the packaging, okay? Packaging is not just some cheap plastic packaging. The packaging is first class with our logo on it. The micro bag is a very super high quality micro bag right here. Everything we've done is to elevate the brand, but just not elevate the price.
Yep. Yeah, and it comes with the micro bag. These came with the case that says, Bollé Tactical. I mean, it's not paper. It's a nice nylon. It's got some structure to it. Well, it's great.
Another part of the vision was I wanted to see as where we would fit for the customer. And by that, I mean, there's a lot of customers that are out there that are buying their safety eyewear at Home Depot or a Lowe's or something like that. And they're just buying some, cheap $10 off the rack product that has no optical clarity in it at all. So I want to, with the BSSI, is to bring that customer up. Okay. So instead of spending $10, they're spending $20 or $25. And I wanted to bring that customer down that was tired of spending $150 for his pair of, they're great glasses. I worked for those companies for a long time.
Yeah.
Bring that customer down to give him the very affordable, very high quality eyewear, and save some money at the same time because, why not?
Just because you can buy $200 glasses doesn't mean that they're the only ones. You have to spend $200 for quality.
Right. And the Sentinel that you're wearing, I mean, that's just as good from the restaurant to the range. It's a cool looking glass.
It is.
Glass. So I got to tell you, the team that we have, it's a French company. The French have been phenomenal to work with. They've just said, what do we need to do? How can we help?
Yeah.
And let's go for it. And that's what we've done. Our CEO is he's just all about, developing this market for the military, but coming in to a price range where it's affordable for all, but make sure we have the quality along with it, which is what we've done.
Yep. Quick question from Gun Websites. Now, we were talking earlier about prescription. Now, you may not know exactly, but if someone were to get some prescription lenses, do you know what, like, the charge for the prescription side of things? Just ballpark it.
I think you're going to be probably in the $100 to $150 range.
Okay. Yep.
For prescription.
Let's see here. Now, Rich White out there says, my wife works in healthcare. Do you have to buy the Rush Plus in packs of 10?
Not at all. You can buy one pair if you want to.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. G23, why are the Tyron BSSI Polarized 89 and the smoke are so much cheaper? Is it just because the lens is different or what?
It's the polarized technology, but hold off on buying polarized right now because I've had this
Really?
I've had this argument that our polarized is too expensive and we have to find a way to bring the cost of this down. So it's expensive in relation to a non-polarized lens, and
And that's just the technology of the polarized lens itself, correct?
it is the technology of the polarized lens, but it's still very, very pricey compared to non-polarized. And it's our one little hiccup on pricing because of the technology that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to lower that.
I'm going to go to the Rush Plus. He says that Rich says that his only drops down to 10. I'm on the Rush Plus BSSI and I can order 1, 2.
Oh,
So
yeah, you can order 1 or 2. Absolutely.
yeah,
1 or 2.
he's saying the drop down on his computer, the Rush Plus only goes down
He
to
wants
10.
to order more than 10.
Oh, if he wants to, well, yeah, because mine will order up to 50 on mine.
Oh yeah,
So
you're right.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm wondering,
maybe
Rich,
it's just your computer, man. You need to update it or something.
yeah, because it'll go higher than 10.
You don't know.
Sure. He can shoot
Quick
me an
shout out
email
to.
or text, and I'll help him too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Quick super chat, $5 super chat for Mandatory Care out there. Appreciate you, brother. You guys know that we don't ask nor encourage super chats, but all super chats go to sending care package to our guys and gals downrange. So thank you for that Mandatory Care. I appreciate you very much. There was another one that I saw. Now he's being funny, but I think that there is something outside that help, Chase out there. Buddy says, how safe will they keep your eyes during a messy situation with a calf? That's the same thing. He's being joking a little bit, but he's also safety glasses don't just have to be used in, construction or something like that, or shooting. Safety glasses, the way that they're constructed, can help you in any situation. I'd be willing to bet that a safety glass would be great for rodeo guys, because if you get bucked off, they're not going to shatter on you,
Yeah, I mean, working on machinery. There's different divisions within Bollé. I handle military and government sales, but there is our safety side, which is oil and gas, manufacturing, pharmaceutical.
Bollé's a huge company. Yeah.
I mean, we're selling to ExxonMobil, aerospace divisions. I mean, heavy manufacturing as well. We even sell welding helmets too.
Yeah. Okay, this might explain it. Rich said that he was looking under the healthcare section and one isn't an option. So just go under tactical to first responders glasses, and then you can find the Rush Plus BSSI under that one, to where you can order 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. He was looking under the healthcare section, and that might be one of those things for healthcare. They might order them as a package for the whole team or something.
Sure. And
just go under that.
Certainly. And if departments want to order, they can reach out to me directly, and I can just facilitate the orders for them as well.
Well, let's do that. Do you want to give your email publicly? Yeah, okay. What was so like? Let's go through your email real quick. I'll just put it out there in the chat for you.
Sure. It's simply Mark MARC dot Van Buskirk VANBUSKIRK at BolléBrands.com.
Brands.com. So that is Mark's direct email. So if you guys have something, then a question, it's there. I will make sure that is also in the description after the show, and obviously in the podcast form. Any questions directly, or you're having problems ordering or something, whatever, get a hold of Mark. And if Mark isn't the guy, then he'll obviously get you in touch with a person that can handle that. Once again, it's a large company. You guys have a lot of stuff. I know that eyewear is kind of the bread and butter, but there are also a lot of other things that that you're making, producing, and selling. What are some of the other products you think people may need to be aware of?
We have some a new shield coming out. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we have a new shield coming out, and then we have something for protect. I can't divulge it completely, but we have something very cool for protection during civil unrest.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
During civil unrest, and then we have a couple more just casual pieces, a couple lifestyle pieces that will fall under the BSSI header. So we're actually,
you guys are also. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh well, we just have quite a bit of new product that will be released this year as well.
Nice.
I think the shield is going to be very interesting, and the piece for civil unrest is going to be very interesting too.
That'd be kind of cool. I know you guys are. If you guys are interested, you actually do sell some of the anti-fog solution and all of that. Now, can that be utilized on other things besides eyewear? I mean, is that why you guys are selling it as an anti-fog, or is it basically for the eyewear?
It can be used on anything where you need it. Goggles. It can be used on eyewear, goggles, what have you. Yeah, I actually use it on my swim goggles too.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. That's a good idea. Goggles. I use goggles occasionally. A lot of people are starting, for different training thing and all that. But goggles are huge in the paintball and the airsoft world and all of that. You're talking about some pretty cool goggles, and you're talking $9.50 and $8 for some of these goggles. It's just, once again, I think people are going to be amazed at what the quality they're getting, and they're seeing these prices and they're like, how is that possible? It helps, like you said, owning the factory, owning all of that stuff where you're not outsourcing it. That helps cut costs a lot.
I mean, everything is designed in-house. It's just a machine, because when we're shipping 10,000 units to an aerospace company or a pharmaceutical company or whatever it might be, we need to know what we're doing. So
yeah.
And I will say this about what BSSI is. It's a standalone division here in the U.S., but Bollé Safety has been selling to the military, obviously in France, but also into Italy and into Germany and down in Australia for many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
So bringing this to the U.S. military and to police departments and first responders here in the U.S. was a logical next step. But the creation of BSSI, BSSI, they prefer to call it, Bollé Safety Standard Issue, it just shows that we're stepping up and taking care again of those that are taking care of us. It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
Frozen.
I don't know. It's internet. Go figure. But he wants to know, like, the anti-fog solution. Can you maybe put that on the lenses of red dots or scopes where maybe they don't fog up? Have you guys tried that or not?
I haven't tried it, but
it seems plausible.
I mean, it works on our prescription glasses. It works on all of our lenses. I wouldn't see why it would not work. It's not going to harm the red dot or anything like that as well.
Yeah, it's just the glass. Yeah, so that's a great question, G23, because that is something, especially for competitive shooters that might be having that. You don't want your glass to fog up if you're shooting something, or if you're in a self-defense or whatever. Military, SWAT team, the worst thing that can happen is your optic fog it up at the absolute worst time. So I will say this. I'll try that out. I'll go get some of that solution, and I'll try that out. That's actually that'd be kind of maybe a cool video, an experimental video to do. But I'll definitely pick some up and I'll try that. But that's a great idea, G23. That's a great thing for sure. Let's see here. You have industrial stuff. I'm just going to go over here. You got some safety, all the welding helmets and accessories. Obviously, the tactical stuff. You've got ballistic glasses, first responders, goggles, the cleaning solutions, the anti-fog solutions, the blue light, like you said, the blue light, which is something that, once again, no one probably would have thought of 10 years down the road before, of having blue light. But the clean room. I guess those are the clean room. I'm just going to go to this page real quick on the website called the Clean Room. And is this more for medical / science or
Medical and
kind of,
science, yeah, where they have
yeah,
those very specific clean rooms.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you guys are out there and you know someone that's in that field,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, on the medical
guarantee
field, and that gentleman that spoke earlier about ordering a Rush Plus for his wife, I would
Mhm.
I would ask him to try for his wife that copper lens because um, I've been in a hospital. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I was getting a cardio conversion to bring my heart back into rhythm.
Mhm.
That was interesting. But
Yeah,
here, here's a little fun sidebar story. The Blue Angels saved my life when I was with
really?
Oakley. Yeah. So when I was with Oakley, I made friends with a lot of Blue Angels, and we were coating their flight shields with iridium. Oakley's iridium. Many that know Oakley know about the iridium coating. So we were coating them in gold iridium, and through that became friends with a lot of Blues. One day, one of my friends in the Blues said, "Mark, how about if we put your name in for a backseat ride with the Blue Angels?" And I said,
Of
"Yeah,
course.
I would
Yeah.
do that." Although I get sick on a Ferris wheel, but I'm not going to turn down a backseat ride, with the Blues. So, and my kids know that too. Anyway, so they said, "Mark, maybe you'll get in. Maybe you've done a lot for us. You'll hear in a month or two." So a couple months later, I get a call or I get a letter, and they say, "You've been selected. You'll come down to Pensacola and you'll fly with us on a Thursday before our Friday, Saturday, Sunday flights." And I go, "Wow, awesome." And they had all this protocol. You have to have a physical, and I was in great shape. I was, running half marathons, triathlons, doing all this kind of stuff. But I was, for some
Yeah.
reason, I was 49. I was feeling a little bit tired, but I just chalked it up to traveling all over. I mean, crazy,
Sure. Yeah.
crazy trade show schedule. And I put off going to see the doctor no matter what. But I had to
I'm
go.
the same way.
I just, not a good idea. I don't recommend that for anybody. But 2 weeks before I'm supposed to go to Pensacola, I go see my general practitioner, and I knew that I had mitral valve prolapse for many, many years, but no big deal. He listens to my heart and he goes, "Mark, there's something not sounding very good here." Long story short, that took me to the cardiologist here in San Diego, which took me to Cleveland Clinic, where I had open heart surgery
Wow.
in 2006 for repair of my mitral valve. But I was in bad shape, and only because of the Blues did I
That's
decide
crazy.
to go to see my doctor to get this sign off so I could fly with them. So I go back to Cleveland Clinic, open heart surgery. They repair my mitral valve by Dr. Toby Cosgrove, who became CEO of Cleveland Clinic, and he was a Vietnam veteran medic in Vietnam, and now at that time was one of the foremost cardiac surgeons in the world.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
I go back there, and the first operation is a TE where they go in and they check your valves and all that. And I said to
Mm.
everyone in the waiting in the operating room, when I wake up, everybody here gets a pair of Oakleys. I was with Oakley at the time. I woke
Yeah.
up, did the same thing after my open heart surgery, recovered. That was 2006. But now, only because I got that backseat ride with the Blues, did I go in for that medical exam. Otherwise, it would have been out for a run and it would have been lights out. But now I say all my angels are blue because
Absolutely.
thankful enough to get that opportunity. And people ask me, "Hey, did you ever take the ride?" I said, "No, but I have a pretty darn good excuse for the reason I didn't take it." But it's better than saying I get sick on a Ferris wheel and I can't go. So
I 100% agree with that. I want to say that the moral of that story was, had you not offered the doctors and nurses free eyewear, they might not have done such a bang up job. So I think that was
maybe
probably
that
where,
too.
you know what, this is, hey guys, we're really going to do a job on this guy.
Yeah,
That is a cool story. That's, just something randomly that you have an opportunity to fly the Blue Angels. Oh, by the way, you need to go get cleared before you do.
yeah.
Saves your life. That's crazy.
Oh, I was chalking my tiredness up to just traveling, traveling, traveling. I was,
It made sense. I mean,
yeah.
absolutely. You'd be traveling all over the world.
I
That's
flipped
crazy.
into I flipped into AFib 14 days or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Again, not I went to go get my regular physical, and she said, "Mark, you're an AFib." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And yeah, you are. And so then I went and got the zap, and I'm back.
The cool thing about this, and I'm going to say the cool thing about this, But it is kind of a cool thing now that you know what that feels like. Like if you start feeling that same tiredness and run down, you know that, hey, it may not just be because I'm worn out. It actually might be something I need to go get checked out.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that my wife has to literally make a doctor's appointment and take me there, or I don't go to doctors.
Yeah.
I do not. And she's gonna be like, hey, you're going to the doctor. Yes, ma'am.
No, I mean, it's, you get one shot at this life, so you better listen to the signs and do what you need to do. But I've been trying to pay it forward. I mean, I've sent a number of friends to have open heart surgery as well, and it's all worked out well for everybody. So thankful about that.
No pressure here, Mark. No pressure here whatsoever. But they're bringing it back up again. I think you fascinated everybody by your life. Gun website says, was there something said? He wants a definitive answer. Is writing a book about your life a possibility at this point? I think you got some people that would buy it.
I don't know. I who would want to read it? I love sharing the story, but I love sharing the story. It's just fascinating how I fell into all of this and what it took to get Oakley into the military exchanges back in 1983. When I flew out there with Mike Parnell, the guy that hired me. I'm a young guy. I'm 27 years old. We spend the night, get up, drive out to the military buying office at AFES, and 10 o'clock meeting. It's fill out a mountain full of paperwork. The buyer, it's 11:30. The buyer doesn't come out, and I walk up and ask the lady at the reception desk, and she said he'll come out when he wants to come out, and he'll see you. So settle down, Roger that. And we come out, and this is so hilarious. We stand up, shake his hand, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "I'm not interested. This is Ray-Ban country." He said, "Oakley's bad. That's never going to sell." I go, "Oh, well, hey,
how'd that go?"
We were out of the building in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember walking down the staircase with Mike Parnell. And I stopped halfway down the staircase and I said, "Mike, I believe in the product just as much then as I believe in what I've built here with Bollé." But I said, "I believe in the product." I was granted the permission to go to different regions, Seattle, Boston, Florida, and speak to the regions. And I said, "I'm going to go to every one of the regions because I believe in the product." And he said, "And Mark, and when we win, when you win, it will make victory that much sweeter. Victory that much sweeter." And I went to all the regions shot me down. And then Fort Campbell in Kentucky, the store manager was holding they called it a field day, a 5K run, a 10K run, all these different events in Kentucky. And I flew out there. It was kind of cold. So I think it was almost in early October. I guess I remember I was putting an Army tent out on a football field. And in 3 days of solid rain the size of golf balls, like it can only rain in Kentucky,
right?
All 50 pairs of Oakley. And then that was it. I'm going to sponsor events. So I did one down at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. And then I went to Japan, Korea, Okinawa, Philippines, and Guam, took a page out of my Schwinn playbook and put on biathlons. And 1 year later, went back to APHIS. And if it was the same buyer, I would have remembered it. But I think it was a different buyer. And he finally put me in. People said, "Oh, you worked for Oakley. It was an easy ride." It was not an easy ride. Nobody believed in it. And I'll just share one more story. I'm kind of sidetracking here, but this is the fun.
No, I love this. Is great. I love it. Yeah, go for it.
91, I think it was 91. The movie Black Hawk Down came out. I think it was 90 or 91.
Yeah, that was probably more like 90.
Was it 3? I can't recall.
3 or 4.
It was 3 or 4.
I was there in 95, and it was a couple years after it happened.
Yeah, maybe it was the event was in 90 or 90. I can't recall. But anyway, I'm in the movie theater, excited to watch this movie, and there was a scene where the Delta guys were in the child
2001 film. 2001. Yeah, because I knew that the actual incident took place in like 93, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was there in 95, a couple years after. But yeah, the movie came out in 2001. Yeah.
Okay, so 2001 is when the movie came out, and I'm telling you, it was not easy. Things changed when the towers came down as far as eye protection for the military, because my vision was when you raise your hand to join the military, you're given helmet, rifle, boots, everything to protect yourself, but nobody was given eye protection. And that's when I got deep.
I was never given a pair of eye protection, even for the range when I was in the Marine Corps, and we were given little foam things. If we wanted to wear eye protection, we could, but we had to go get them ourselves.
Yeah.
It was never part. It wasn't even a thought of eye protection on the range.
Well, that was my vision. So even back in the early days when I was selling Oakley into the exchanges, I would see supply officers come in and they would buy the 6 pairs that were in the exchange, and then they would issue them out to the guys. And the guys, they would have to take a belt sander and they would sand off the logo, or they'd take a black magic marker and black out the logo.
We used a lot of magic markers, rattle can spray paint, and electrical wire. Electrical wire does a lot of good, and so does duct tape. Duct tape does a lot of good in the military.
Oh, well, so Black Hawk Down comes out, and so it's 2001, that's right. And there was a scene, the commanding officer came up and said, "I don't care if you're Delta, get those Oakleys off. Take those Oakleys off." And I go, oh my gosh.
Well, understand that was that took place in 1993 or so.
Yeah.
That was kind of when I was in. I was over in East Africa in 95. But that was just one of those things where it was almost frowned upon. If it wasn't issued to you, you couldn't wear them. Now, you could wear them if they were a certain color. You could wear them. And in the Marine Corps, I can't speak for other branches. In the Marine Corps, they didn't care about having, I guess, on the sunglasses, they didn't care about having like the logo, but they had to be black, green, or tan.
Yes, yeah.
The frames had to go with the uniform. You couldn't have like Oakley, they came out with the weird colors and pinks and blues, and the lenses were like the crazy lenses. We couldn't have those. No. They had to be one, a black or a gray or whatever lens, and all that. But yeah, that was a real thing. That was a very real thing.
So, but yeah, that was my roundabout way of getting to where I am. And as far as writing a book, I mean, I have so many stories. I have stories of friends that are still my friends. Actually, I'm flying a flag off my bedroom balcony that was given to me by a friend of mine that flew F-18s in Iraq and Afghanistan, and signed it for me. So I just every day it flies right off my bedroom out. It's cool. Yeah. And lost some friends too, as everyone has, that has been tied to the military. So tough. I'm frozen. Frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Still. There
I
you
need to hardwire this. I think in the Wi-Fi's. I think the Wi-Fi. I may have to just hardwire this in for the internet instead of just Wi-Fi-ing it up. But who knows? I'm not real sure. But yeah, there's a lot of great stories. I can tell you, there's a lot of people out there that's obviously shown interest in a book. I'm just saying, and if you don't feel comfortable writing it, there are people out there that will ghostwrite for you. You just got to tell the stories, and they'll put it on words. I'm just saying it can be fun for you.
Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I actually have 2 beautiful sons and some and 2 beautiful grandkids that certainly to share some of these stories would be with before.
Well, and that'd be kind of a cool thing to pass down to the family and the generations. That's kind of a cool thing. All in joking, but it's a serious thing. I think you have some real cool stories. I think maybe that'd be a cool thing to pass down to the generations.
Yeah. I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah. There you go. I do want to give you a few minutes, and I'm going to put the link out there, the discount code, and all of this stuff will be in the description after the show. I'll put it all there, and obviously in the podcast form. Look in the description below. You'll have all the links to all the social media, the websites, and all that. But what I want to do real quick with you, Mark, is give you a few minutes to touch on anything that we haven't covered about the company. Tell maybe where they can find you on maybe social medias and all that. And just give you a few minutes to kind of just, talk about whatever you want to push for the company in the last few minutes, and let you do that free will here.
No, I appreciate that. I think the most important thing to first understand is our product is less expensive than our competition. That doesn't mean we're cheap. We have hit every single one of the parameters that the best brands that are out there. But again, it was my vision to make it affordable for all that are out there protecting and serving. And again, I never served. I spent a lot of time traveling the world. Wow, what a great life it's been. Meeting great men and women, military and firefighters and policemen and first responders, and some crazy, crazy times and stories. And oh my gosh, that's funny stories, but as we all have. But I think, we are here for those that are out there holding the line for us. As I said earlier in the podcast, I pay no attention to the warranty. If you have a problem, you just
Right.
shoot me an email, shoot the customer service an email. It'll get in my hands, and I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to take care of you. And if you want to place department orders, I can take care of you that way as well. We have special pricing for department orders. We're soon going to have a link where a department, whether you're a police department or a military team or what have you, wants to order, we'll have a link that you'll just be able to go to on that as well. But in the meantime, just reach out to me and I can help you there. Everyone that I work with, we are the epitome of a team. We know who our customer is. We all know we wouldn't have jobs if it wasn't for those that are out there, that have been out there, that will be out there today and tomorrow. So we take it seriously and want to just do the best job for those that are taking care of us.
Well, Mark, I had a blast. Obviously, I think this was an eye opener for a lot of people that may have heard of Bollé, but really weren't sure, but to understand the quality that you're getting. I didn't know how much these cost when I got them at SHOT. I put them on, and I wore them all day and all week at SHOT. I was like, oh man, these are great. I wear them now here at the range and all that. And then come to find out a couple weeks later when I got home, was looking on the website, I was like, what? Like, that's got to be a misprint, right? Yeah. It's got to be a misprint. Because if you just told me, I was like, yeah, you're spending at least $100, $150 for these glasses, hands down. And you would have just assumed that because that's what the market calls for. So if you guys are out there and you're looking for some safety eyewear, whether it's for shooting or for anything, it doesn't have to be for something that you just if safety glasses in general, you can wear these as everyday wears and you're driving your car, but they're going to give you the protection that you need if something were to happen. And for the price, I mean, you're not going to be able to beat it. Go check out bollé-safety.com. Use code Q150. I'm assuming that's for quarter 1, 50% off or whatever, but Q150 for 50% off. Mark, thank you so much for coming. I really, truly appreciate the conversation. You are a fascinating person, especially with your work with Schwinn, with Oakley, starting GovX, which is crazy. Like, I had no idea. That's awesome. And for a lot of the guys that are in our realm, GovX is a thing that people know about and use on a daily basis. So thank you for helping found that. And then obviously Bollé, you guys are doing some great work, but awesome. I'm serious. There are people out there that'll buy that book. I'm just saying, thanks for coming on, man. Anything else you want to, before we start
I appreciate
the floor and turn the lights up?
I appreciate the time. I really appreciate the listeners, everyone that's out there holding the line, protecting and serving. It's my thanks to you. My thanks to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. It was a fun chat. Absolutely. That's a pretty good idea. G23. Oh, G23 says if you don't want to write a book, you could always start a YouTube channel and do a story on YouTube. So I'm sure you've got enough hats in your life. YouTube is something you want to dive into. Maybe your kids want to one day or something, Well,
my sons, I'm blessed with both my sons. They're married. I have 2 grandkids. My oldest son is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice.
They're great kids. I'm thankful, beautiful wife. Life is good. And,
life is good.
Health hiccups, but again, the Blue Angel saved my life. So
how about that?
Forward any way I can.
It's a fantastic story in itself, but yeah. Thank you guys. We're here on the live chat. Thank you for the questions, for the comments. It was a fun chat. Thank you for everyone. If you're watching still in replay or listening to podcasts, hey, you're not getting your money back. I'm sorry. We never promised this would be something that you want to pay for. You're getting it for free, guys. So it is what it is. You're not getting your money back, and you're not getting an hour and 15 back in your lives. You turned it on, you listened. But no, thanks for joining. As always, like I said, if you're out there watching a replay on YouTube or listening to this in podcast form and you have a question, utilize that comment section. We'll make sure that we get anything that we need to over to Mark. I put Mark's email address in the comments. I will also put it down excuse me, in the description below. So if you have any direct questions for the company or customer service or whatever, get a hold of Mark. And if he's not the guy, he will absolutely make sure that you get to the right person. But yeah, it was great. Everyone's out there saying great guest. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, it was 100%. It was a fun chat. Mark, I'd love to have you come on anytime you guys want. Is Bollé going to be in Indianapolis for NRAM?
We're not going to be there. Our next show will be Modern Day Marine.
Okay.
And actually now moved to DC, and then we will be at IACP in San Diego.
Okay.
And we'll begin at SHOT Show again next year too.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely see you there. Let's talk sometime. There's some other things in the San Diego area you might be interested in as well. Let me know. There's some cool stuff. We can talk off air real quick before we get out of here. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff going on. But yeah, thank you so much for doing that, and thank you for doing what you do and all of that. And once again, you guys, Q150 discount code when you check out. That's phenomenal. You're getting 50% off. So thank you for doing that, Mark, as well. Appreciate that very, very much. I know that everyone out here will. Guys, the prices were already good to begin with. Let's be honest. Now you're going to get them for nuts. Go and support Bollé because you know what you're going to get. Like I said, I've been wearing them since the 90s in high school. And I got to pick these up in January. Love them to death. So yeah, go check them out and support them. Thank you, Mark, for coming on. Guys, make sure you check out this coming Sunday is the Ghost and Clover podcast, Sunday night at 8 Central. It'll be on my channel, on Clover's channel, and on the Ghost and Clover channel, obviously in podcast the next day. Check that out. Make sure you check out all of Bollé's website. Once again, bollé-safety.com. Go check out all their cool stuff out there. If you have any questions on any products, get a hold of me or Mark. And if it's me, and I'll get it to Mark, whatever, and we'll go from there. But thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Semper Fi.
Thank you all.